Well, hey guys, welcome back to Small Town Life. I am your host Ben, and today we are enjoying another beautiful day on the Sunshine Coast, living up to its true name with liquid sunshine today. But I don't mind. I actually quite enjoying it right now. We need it, and I don't like wildfires, so I really like it, considering that most other places are super hot right now and very dry. So I'll take the cooler weather for a little bit while we can, and make it so that we still have our greenery staying green and not on fire. So what does that mean for me though, for my usual work stuff? Well, it does put a little bit of a dampening on things, but it means that I get to work on some of our many other small spare time projects. Right now I'm going to be working on making a smaller scale screening for when we do our screening of material and things like that. We tend to have some leftover bits that are still mixed in with dirt, so we want to do a finer, smaller one, just so we can be doing it quickly with less equipment. Something that just the tractor itself can just quickly dump it on, screen the dirt, remove the rocks. So I'm using some of our spare metal. See what I can create. Come along, let's see how this goes. So we got some of our grate here. I'll be cutting up a bit. I'm just now figuring out how I'm going to be framing all this in. The hardest part is getting everything prepped so that stays square and works nicely. So I shall do that first. Trying to get things level and square to where I need it, so I can start tacking some welds in and then go from there. And I can get finished welds in after. Now, for those who are maybe new to watching this, I am not a welder. Not by trade. I can weld. By trade, technically, I'm a heavy-duty mechanic. But they learn a few tips and tricks here and there. For people who do the work, I know enough just to be dangerous. Mostly to myself. Sometimes that's all you need to do. You need shims. And the last corner. So now that I got the frame in its basic squareness that I want, the way I want to have things lined up, next bit will be, of course, doing the more in-depth welding, but I have to be careful and strategize how I do that, because there's a thing called heat pull. So if I were to weld too much on one and just do the full thing, it might contract and pull that corner and this corner out of square. So I have to kind of go do like a little bit of here, a little bit of there, there, a little over there, just kind of going around in a circle or more of like a crisscross, so that I don't have it go out of square while I'm welding it because of the temperature change and the pull within the metal. Yeah. The things you had to learn the hard way sometimes, or from a professional if you went to school for it. It can let you guess which way I had to learn. Helps when the surface is a little cleaner to work with. Try this again, shall we? Go a little bit more hog wild with less having to worry about the heat pull. Less, not completely eliminate, just less. So we'll figure that out. Part of the question is, will this look all nice and fancy when I'm all done? Probably not, but it will be functional, and that is the point. As you can probably tell, I am a function over fashion type of person. That's where my priorities lie. I usually like using the buffer wheel, but this gets into the corners a little bit better. So to show why we use these in the buffer wheel, you got the weld here, but then you got what's over top, that's the slag. Then you have the actual weld underneath it. Sometimes you need to clear that out of the way. A, to see how good your weld was in the first place, and B, so that you can continue to do an additional weld then after without it interfering. Here. Got your nice ish weld, and then you got the slag. So this is what I buffed off, and this is what the hammer did. This is why I usually like using the buffers. Gives a cleaner look to see what you're dealing with after. Meanwhile, all my welding peers are laughing at me, but oh well. Once again, I am not a welder. I just know kind of enough just to be kind of dangerous. Mostly to myself. Yep. With welding, for those who do not know, it is easier to weld on a flat level surface. This way. Doing an up and down weld is a lot more difficult. Even on top of all of that, doing a weld underneath is even more difficult. Gravity is not on your side. But with this one, I have the ability to move it around as I need to, manipulate the material, so I can have me weld on a flat surface, so I can have a nicer weld with my limited skills, because I could use all the help and advantage I can. The best part to any weld, the surprise. Was it a good weld? Was it a crappy weld? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. Mediocre. Not the best of the best. See the way it pooled. Not the best, but it's not really ugly. And it's doing its job. Like I said, function over fashion. So now we're at a part to where we need to flip this up so we can get the welds in the corners a little bit better and get the other side of it and whatnot. So how are we going to move it around and manipulate it as we need to? Are we going to use that handy dandy tractor over there to do it? No! No, that would be way too simple. What we're going to do is we're going to wrap a chain around it and use this little hoist and yank it up. But I'm not going to just pick it up, no. We're going to be smart about it. We're going to use some leverage. Toss the chain under. Watch out for pinchy points because we want to go home with all our fingers still attached. Chain it up, yank it up, and then go from there. Nice and tight. We'll leave that attached on there while we get it all worked on so it don't fall down on me. Once again, pinch points, we don't want that. Another nice thing about this cooler, rainy weather, it makes welding a lot nicer because this stuff gets hot. And you can see I'm wearing a bit of protective clothing. It's not from the sparks that I wear this. Because if I have exposed skin to that bright flashing light, it can actually give you a sunburn. Don't want that. So the protective gear for the sparks and the flash, so that's why we don't have any exposed skin. So it gets hot. Yeah. So I'm really glad it's cool and wet outside today to make it nice and cool in here. Yeah. Second pass. Did not like that first one as much by itself. Need that functionability. It's not that it looks ugly, it just doesn't look like it'll hold as well. like that one a lot better. Once again, it's not perfect, and I'll give you a quick look here. But it is better than how it was that first time around. Ah. Yoink. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Once again, it's not the best weld. I'm going to pull it a lot nicer. Yeah, there's a bunch of bubbles in there. Once again, you want it to look real good and pretty and all that stuff. That's when you hire the professional welders. I just get things done. Functionable. It's always nice to work in a well-ventilated area when you're doing all this. Why the doors are open. Also why the lighting's terrible right now. I'm working with what I got, guys. Doing what I can. So, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. I think I might have earned it a little bit. That wasn't very nice now, was it? You don't blame the stick, you blame the welder. But today, I'm blaming the stick. Like the welder. Fine tuning at the top. It's on there. Ugly, but it's on there. Now that we got that done, we're gonna 180 it, lay it back down so we can get the other sides. But first, we need to clean up some room. Make room for it all. That would be good. I gotta get these back sides. Yep, getting there, getting closer. Clean up these because I did bevel them. I'll get along in there. That looks a lot nicer for the bevel. Camera. There we go. There. Didn't show a lot of these things there earlier, but we got a bit of a bevel. A valley, if you will, so I can get a weld deeper in instead of just surface level. A lot stronger of a weld. There we go, less fuzzy. That way, it will be a lot more structurally sound for all our dumping lots of rocks and dirt on it and have it not fall apart and break on us in the process. Gotta show you guys this. Difference between a nice weld and a not so nice one. Look at this one here first. See, nice pooling going along. Looking pretty smooth. Trying to do a double pass here on top. Well, this one does not look good. At all. By my own admission. It is a very bad weld. This looks great. There we go. That looks great. This, new. I can admit I'm ashamed of that. It'll hold, just looks ugly. Oy. Anyways, back to it. Let's hope this one's a little better. Oh, so much better. So much nicer. Yeah, I think I had the heat a little too low, the low amperage. It looks so much better now. Clean it up, do a second pass. Looks much nicer. nicer at the end than it does near the beginning. Went a little too fast. Just letting the pool move nice. Yep. Oh well. It's on there. Now, these are the angles that I do not like doing. Going up. You're now chasing your pool of molten metal upwards, working against gravity. I'm not very good at going down that kind of an angle. I'm pretty sure others are better at it. Not myself. This is not my full-time gig. Spare time. Hobby-esque. Let's see what kind of a mess I can make. Want to take a look at it together, see how it looks, judge me. It is the internet. We do that all the time. Let's take a little peek skis. See how it looks. Well, that's not a good sign. Where's the buffer? I think I did it too hot. Yep, a little too hot. Need to turn down the amperage. 'Cause, that just looks gross and almost non-functionable. So I might actually have to grind a little bit back and try again. Ground in a little bit, had a bit of gaps here and there. So now we'll turn down the heat. Try that again. That'll not even. Probably all I need. This time for sure. That looks a lot more promising. We'll still need a second pass though. Fingers crossed. It'll do. It'll do. That corner. Well, it was still a little too hot earlier. Let's turn down a bit more. It felt like it went a lot smoother. We'll find out. Oh yeah. Way better. Ugh. One more pass. One more. Good enough for now. I'm getting hungry. So, made some progress today. Got a few things accomplished. But now we're running out of that spare time for the moment, and I'm getting hungry. Should probably go rescue the poor wifey from the munchkins, who are in full summer vacation mode and very energetic. I'm pretty sure she could use a break, and I can tag team that one out. So, if you think I should continue with this avenue of this spare time project, once again, give me some thumbs up, give me some lovin'. Comment also stating of such. And yeah, I'll maybe film some more while I'm making more of this. See what kind of a disaster I can get into. Anyways, thanks guys. Catch you in the next one. We'll see what we'll have in store for you. Cheers. It's still raining. More like a mist now. Oh well. It's not on fire.